guys, it's me. Here is that yoga class I told you I would put out for you. Please excuse everything around here. I have not done this before, so I don't really have a great setup. Welcome to my home. So this is going to be the class that I normally teach on Fridays. It's a gentle stretch class. It is great for after working out, especially if you've done weights or a HIIT class or something with more cardio. We're going to be working on opening up our hip flexors, just doing some stretches, some of our nice low lunges, and getting some of our arms up and things like that. We will do some balancing, so if you need support for balancing, please make sure that you have a counter or even a chair, a dining room chair that you can bring over by you so that you can use that at this time. We will also be using blocks to open up our heart, and there we will need a strap. If you do not have a block or a strap, you can use a book, or you can use something as easy as the tie around a robe, a belt, or even a long towel that you can roll, just to be able to extend your legs, giving you that extra reach that you may or may not need. So I will not be doing a long Shavasana. That doesn't mean you shouldn't do a long Shavasana. When this video ends, make sure that autoplay doesn't go into something else that's going to be loud. And just pause the video or stop the video, and then take some time just resting in Shavasana. Shavasana is by far one of the most important poses, because that is when we get to rest after everything else we've done and everything that we are currently going through. Rest and meditation are very important. So today we're going to start on our mat, coming into a comfortable seat. I'm a big fan of Sukhasana, placing one foot in front of the other so that my knees are on the ground. If you prefer to cross your ankles, I suggest getting that book, a block, or even a blanket, placing it underneath your sitting bones, raising your hips so that they are level with your knees. This way we're not crushing our ankles. If you have knee issues and either of these poses are uncomfortable, feel free just to bring your legs out nice and long in front of you so that we have that length. You can also still sit on a block, which will lift your hips up and alleviate some of that tension. So coming to our first pose, coming to our quick meditation, taking a moment to fidget around, moving any of the meat away from your sitting bone, and finding a comfortable position on our mat. Allowing our eyes to close and beginning to draw our attention to our breath. Taking a moment to notice our inhalations versus our exhalations. Noticing if we're breathing in the top of our lungs or if we're filling our belly. Filling our belly is the better way to go, using all of our lungs. And then with each breath, we're going to begin to let go. And there's a lot to let go of right now. But it's essential that we take this time to live in this moment. To notice how we're feeling. To allow all that noise just to move away from us. Maybe even taking our hands right above our heart. And feeling the beating and using that as a way to count our breaths. And then inhaling to a count of 4. So in, 2, 3, 4. And then out, 2, 3, 4. In, 2, 3, 4. And out, 2, 3, 4. And feeling the calm coming over us. Feeling it from the crown of our head, moving down past past our eyes softening, any tightness in our jaw letting go, our shoulders relaxing down, keeping them away from our ears, moving all the way down our spine, and then into our sitting bones, and into the mat below us. And as the thoughts pop into our head, just drawing our attention back to our breath, drawing our attention to the sensation of the breath coming in through our nose and exhaling the same way. Maybe even thinking, I am here. I am fine. And if you have been working on an intention, or you would like to set an intention for this class, this is that moment. Setting that intention. I will let go. Or an affirmation, I am enough. I will practice ahimsa towards my fellow man and woman and myself. And then on our next inhalation, we're going to allow our eyes to float open. Noticing the calm that we're feeling now. Noticing if when we opened our eyes, our shoulders creeped back up. If they did, just bring them back down. Wiggle it out a little. And then inhale, palms out, up towards the ceiling. Taking our fingertips up, our gaze towards the sky. And exhale, twisting to the right. Right hand behind us, left hand on our knee. Inhale, tall spine. Exhale, twisting from our waist. Taking our gaze towards the back of the room, towards our shoulder. And then releasing, inhaling the arms up. And exhaling to the opposite side. Bringing your palm, your right hand on to your left knee, and your left hand directly behind you. Inhale, tall, lifting that rib cage. Exhale, twisting, taking the gaze behind you. And we're not turning from the shoulders, we're turning from the waist. And then releasing, inhaling the arms up, and we're going to do the twist a second time. So inhale, tall, gaze towards the ceiling. Exhale, coming to the right. Bringing the right hand behind us, maybe even tenting the fingers on the floor, just to give us some extra length. And then bringing the back of our left hand onto our right knee. So before we had our palm down, this time we're going to have our palm up. Inhaling tall, exhale, hooking those fingers onto our knee, and then twisting, taking the gaze slightly behind. And releasing, inhaling the arms up. Exhale, twisting opposite side. Left hand on the floor behind us, fingers tented or not. Right hand, the top of our hand on the knee, palm facing out. Inhale, tall. Exhale, twist. And releasing, inhaling the arms up. Exhale, pushing the hands down. Like we're pushing the air away from us, and then swooping them back up, coming to center to our Namaste hands. Inhale the arms up. And then exhale, we're going to fold forward, walking our hands out in front of us. So bringing the palms just in front of our knees, and then walking our fingertips out. So our forehead will be coming down towards the mat. comes all the way down. Maybe it doesn't. You're welcome to take a block, placing the block in front of you so you have a place to rest your forehead. Resting your arms, getting that stretch in our lower back as we take our arms out long in front of us, feeling that opening in our hip. If when you go forward, your hip butt comes up off the mat, bring your hands in closer, keeping our sitting bones on the mat, keeping our gaze soft on the floor. And then releasing, straightening our arms, walking our hands back to center, switching the cross on our leg. So for me, I'm bringing the right foot out in front of the left, Sukhasana, easy pose on the opposite side, readjusting my sitting, inhaling tall, exhaling the hands down, and then slowly walking our arms out in front of us, reaching the arms away from us as we bring our forehead to the mat or to a block, or maybe our arms are even closer, and we're just getting that stretch in our lower back, keeping our neck nice and long, keeping our gaze on the mat. And then releasing, inhale, walking the arms to center, moving the block out of the way if we were using one. And then from here, coming onto our hands and knees into a tabletop position. So we're going to bring our hands directly underneath our shoulders and keep our hips above our knees. Taking a moment just to check our foundation. We're going to keep our fingers nice and wide. So we don't want to have them soft, like we're grabbing onto the mat. Maybe even we're trying to open up a giant jar of pickles. So pressing the hands down in this, gently rotating our arms until the elbow pits are pointing out forward. We're going to engage our core, so drawing our belly button up towards our spine, making sure that our knees are right below our hips. And then one last check is we're going to peek between our legs, and if you can see your feet, if they're in like this, we're going to gently set them out so they disappear between our thighs, coming into our nice foundation in tabletop. Keeping our gaze on the mat, right in front of us. We're going to inhale, drop the belly, raise the gaze, coming into cow pose. And then exhaling up and back into cat. Inhaling into cow. And exhaling into cat. So inhale, when we drop into cow, we're going to get those shoulder blades onto our back, shoulders away from the ears, pressing our toes into the mat, the tops of our toes, so that we're not crunching the lower back. And exhaling all the way up into a cat, pressing into those fingertips into our palms, shoulder blades wide, taking our gaze towards our belly button. And then just slowly beginning to go in between the two. Finding some flexibility in our spine. Just slowly waking up our body. And we'll do 3 more. So inhaling into cow. Exhaling into cat. Inhale into cow. Exhaling into cat. And last time, inhaling into cow. Exhaling into a nice old Halloween cat. Releasing, coming into our neutral tabletop. From here, we're going to go into a balancing pose. So starting on with our right hand, we're going to inhale, bringing that right arm out in front of us, drawing the shoulder blade in, keeping our hands nice and wide, like we're reaching out for someone's hand. Our gaze is down on the mat, just helping us with our balance. And then when we're ready, we're going to kick that left leg up and back, coming into a balancing table. Engaging the core muscles, pointing or kicking, and just kick the TV. So pointing or kicking the toes, but keeping the muscles active in this back leg. We don't want the leg drooping down and everything, so engaging all the way by pointing the toes or flexing the foot, keeping that arm out in front of us, and our gaze down on the mat. And then exhale, releasing right hand down, left knee, and switching sides. Inhaling the left arm out. And then balancing that right leg all the way up and back. Keeping a nice long spine from the crown of the head all the way down. Still engaging our core. Pressing into our fingers on the mat. Keeping the opposite arm out nice and long. Fingers wide and awake. And exhale, left hand down. Right knee down. And switching back to the first side. So inhaling that right arm out. And our left leg back. And then we're going to either stay here if this is comfortable for you, or if you would like to add a little bit more of a back bend, we're going to bend that back knee, sole of the foot pointing towards the ceiling. And on an inhalation, reaching back for the top of the foot or the ankle. And once you have that foot, inhale here, exhale, kicking up and back, coming into tiger. Just like in tabletop and our balancing table, we're going to keep our gaze soft on the mat, just above our fingers, just below our face, in that vicinity. And then exhale, releasing, coming back out to our balancing table. Hand and knee down, and switching sides. Left arm out, right leg back. Taking a moment to adjust yourself and listening to your body. If something doesn't feel comfortable, there's a difference between stretching and pain. If it feels painful, we're going to stop. So bending that back knee, that right knee, and then reaching around with our left hand for the toes or the ankle. Inhaling here, exhale, kicking the leg up. As you pull with your left arm, and we're going to kick the right leg away, counterbalancing, and then releasing, and then coming back to tabletop, walking our hands a little bit farther in front of us, stepping the feet back, curling the toes under, plank pose. Inhaling here, and exhale. Inhale, lifting the hips up and back, downward facing dog. Maybe your heels touch the ground, maybe they don't. That is fine. But taking a moment to bend one knee as you lower the opposite heel, and then switching sides, walking the dog. And then coming back to stillness. Inhaling. And on our next exhalation, walking the hands back all the way to our toes and coming into a standing forward fold. So releasing our fingertips towards the mat. Releasing the crown of our head towards the mat. If your fingers don't touch, grabbing onto a book or a block and using that book or block to lift the floor up to you. Always remember there are 3 heights. So pick the height that works for you. And just like in down dog, we're going to move our legs a little bit, bending one knee and then the other. And then finally, coming back to stillness. Bending from our hips, releasing the arms down, making our way into ragdoll. So releasing the arms down, unlike a normal forward fold, we're just allowing gravity to find some length in our spine, allowing our head to come down. Maybe even opening the mouth and taking a deep breath in and sighing it all out. Relaxing the arms so they're just hanging there. Maybe even shaking your head yes or no. And when you're ready, we're going to come back to stillness. And then begin to slowly roll up. Making our way all the way to mountain pose. And taking a moment to adjust your shirt and your hair. And then walking up to the front of our mat. Coming into mountain. Now you will be at the front of your mat, but we're going to have the soles of our feet together, so our feet are parallel. Maybe your big toes touch and your heels are out. That is what works for me. Or maybe even just heel toeing out a little bit so you have some space in between there. Keeping the feet below the knees below the hips. And then bringing our hands down on our sides. So rolling the shoulder blades onto our back. Finding mountain pose, finding Tadasana. Inhaling the arms out, all the way up, fingertips towards the ceiling. Exhale, swan dive forward. Uttanasana, forward fold, fingertips towards the mat. Inhale, flat back, Ardha Uttanasana, halfway lift. Exhale, hands down. And again, inhaling the arms out all the way up. Exhale, releasing the hands down, mountain pose. We're going to do another half sun salutation. So inhaling the arms out and up. Exhale, fold forward. Pushing into the four corners of your feet so we're not on our toes. Inhale, flat back, halfway. Exhale, fold. Inhaling the arms out or straight up in front of us. And exhale, coming back to mountain. And then last time, inhaling the arms up. Exhale, folding forward. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold forward. Keeping a slight bend in the knee if that feels okay. Sometimes straightening is too much. So if your chest is on your knees, that is all right. If your hands aren't on a block, that is okay too. The big thing we want to do is we want to bend from our hips. So we're not going like this. We're going forward. Forward and down. And then walking our hands onto our lower back, interlacing the fingers, inhaling the arms out nice and tall, and exhale, folding, head towards our knees, and our arms up. If you feel your mind is wandering again, bring your attention back to your breath. Breathing in, and then breathing out. Such an essential part of yoga, linking the movements with our breath. And exhale, releasing the hands, fingertips towards the ground, making our way back into our Uttanasana. Inhale, flat back. Exhale, fold. And then again, inhaling the arms out or in front of us all the way up. This time bringing the palms together. Maybe taking a little bit of a back bend, pushing the hips forward as we take our hands back. Exhale, releasing, coming down into our mountain pose. And then inhaling the arms out. Exhale, forward. Inhale, flat back. Exhale, hands down, step back, plank pose. Inhaling here on our exhalation, up and back, downward facing dog. And then from here we're going to make our way to a lizard pose. So you are welcome to come from down dog, inhaling that right leg up, three-legged dog, and then exhale, drawing the knee towards our nose. Finally setting the foot down, coming into a runner's lunge. Or if you would like to come in from tabletop, stepping that right foot forward, and then lifting the back leg, making our way into our runner's lunge. Knee over our ankle, pressing into that back heel so we have a nice long spine. Hands on either side of the mat. Welcome to use the block. Once again, lengthening, lifting the floor, giving you more space. Nice long spine from our tailbone to the crown of our head. And from here, we're going to walk the right hand in onto the inside of that right foot. So I'm going to switch sides so you can see this. Placing the hands on the inside of the foot, we're going to make our way into lizard. So different variations of lizard. This is the first one. We're having an extreme stretch from that front knee all the way back. Level number 2 is that we're going to come down onto our forearms, keeping that left leg still up. Or 3, you're welcome to lower that leg. Staying on your forearms, keeping your gaze towards your hands, and breathing. And breathing into that hip. And inhale, coming back onto our hands, curling the toes under, lifting the heel up, and then stepping the foot back. Downward facing dog. Lifting the opposite leg up, inhaling that left leg up. Exhale, knee to nose, setting the foot down or coming in from our tabletop. Lifting that right knee up. Walking the hands in, staying here, coming down to our elbows, coming down to our knee, finding which version works for you. Inhaling back up to our arms, curling the toes under, lifting that knee, stepping the hand outside of a foot, left foot back, downward facing dog. And from here we're going to inhale, getting some length. Sorry, this feels really nice on my back. Inhaling the right leg up, and exhale, stepping that foot forward, coming into our runner's lunge on the right side. Making sure your feet are in 2 lanes of traffic so we're not getting all unbalanced. And from here we're going to exhale, lowering that back leg, uncurling the toes, and coming into a low crescent lunge. So if you need to take a moment and fold your mat over so that you have some extra cushioning on your knee, or you want to get a towel or a blanket, you are welcome to do so. Feel free just to pause. And then when you're ready, we're going to come back, making sure that we're not directly on the knee. So we're not in a tabletop knee. That knee is back, nice and far. The toes are uncurled. Toenails into the mat. Knee up here, still over our ankle, and then we're going to walk our way up. So inhale, coming on to that back knee, placing our hands on our right knee. With each exhalation, we're going to exhale, sinking in just a little bit more. And then when you're ready, Inhaling the arms up. Exhale, sinking. And exhale, releasing the hands down, shifting the hips back. Coming to fold over our front leg. And just like in Uttanasana, we're going to fold from the hips. We're not really curling our head, taking our gaze towards our toes. And then releasing, sole the foot down, curling the back toes under, coming into our runner's lunge. Right foot back and switching sides. Downward facing dog, left leg up. Exhale, stepping that foot forward. Inhaling here. On our next exhalation, lowering the foot down, uncurling the toes. And then walking our way up, coming onto that knee, hands on the knee. Taking the time to cushion your back knee. And then inhaling the arms all the way up. I'm concentrating on my breath and breathing. I'm used to having music to help me count, which I do not have right now. So paying attention to your breath, paying attention to your body. If I lose count, I apologize. I'm slowly listening to the ticking of a clock, hoping that will keep me focused. And we're going to exhale, bringing those hands down, curling the toes under. Coming back to our plank, lifting the hips up and back, downward facing dog. And then one more fun hip stretch. We're going to inhale that right leg up. And then exhale forward, coming into pigeon. So right knee coming all the way up to our right wrist. We're going to take the right ankle towards our left wrist. And then we're going to walk the left leg back. Releasing the toes so that the toenails are pressing into the mat. Inhale, nice tall spine. Scissoring the legs together so we're not dropping into the floor. If you feel like you're shifting too much to the right hip or left, just take a moment, scan over your body and notice where your weight is going. Because we want to keep those hips nice and balanced. We want to keep them in line with each other. And inhaling here, exhale, walking our way out just like we did in lizard. Coming onto our forearms, or maybe we can go all the way down, stretching our arms out in front of us, forehead on the mat. So if this is too much pressure on your knee, you can either stay in the position. I'm going to move for a moment. Keep this right foot in closer towards your center. Over time will work so it's parallel with the front of the mat. Your other option is to do a figure 4 stretch on your back, which I will show you in 1 second. So if you have your arms out long in front of you, we're going to walk them in, bringing your hands down on the mat. And then from here, we're going to curl the toes under our back foot, just shifting the weight forward, releasing that knee. Bringing the right leg out, coming into our tabletop. Coming up and back, downward facing dog. And then switching sides, inhaling that left leg up. Exhale, come forward, pigeon on the opposite side. Left knee to left wrist. Left ankle towards right wrist. Walking the toes back. And then taking a moment to adjust on your mat. I've scooted back too far. So releasing the leg behind us, inhaling tall, exhale, coming forward. If you want to do a figure four, you will come on to your back. A reclined pigeon is what they also call this. So soles of the feet on the mat, bringing the left ankle to the right knee, and then drawing that right knee in, keeping this foot flexed, and trying to counter. So as this top leg, we're going to have this top leg push that right leg away, and then draw the opposite knee in. Or you can just stay in pigeon. And then when you're ready, we're going to, on an inhalation, walk our hands back to center, palms on the mat. Curl the toes under of our back foot, walking that knee in, releasing the front leg, coming into our plank pose, lifting the hips up and back, downward facing dog. Inhaling here, and on our exhalation, coming down onto our knees, press back into child's pose. Forehead on the mat, stretching our arms out long in front of us. And then inhale, walking the hands to center, releasing our legs out nice and long in front of us, grabbing on to our strap or our belt, and then slowly lowering all the way back, coming into a very early Shavasana. We will only be here for a moment. Starting with our right leg, we're going to inhale, bringing that knee up and into our chest, keeping that left leg active. Kind of fidgeting around until we can get our lower back pressing into the mat. So inhale, hands together on that knee, drawing the knee in and up towards our right armpit. Maybe even taking that left hand and pressing it into your hip flexor, keeping that hip down onto the mat. And then releasing, coming back to a neutral spine, bringing our right arm out to the side if you have space, or into cactus arms. We're going to hold on to that right knee with the left hand. Inhaling here, and on our exhalation, drawing the knee across the body, using our opposite arm to anchor us. And then you can take your gaze towards the ceiling, or if you would like to look back at your arm that is extended, feeling a stretch from your shoulder, all the way down your side body, and releasing, coming to center. Holding on to that right knee, and then drawing the left knee in. Switching sides, extending the right leg out long, all the way down onto the mat. Inhale, drawing your left knee up into the left armpit, taking your right hand, placing it on your right hip. Your left hand is on your knee. And then releasing, right hand to left knee, left arm out to the side. Inhaling here, exhale, drawing the leg across our body, taking our gaze. And releasing, coming back to center, bringing that right knee in. Giving both knees a squeeze up into the chest, maybe even bring your head up. Nice little full body squeeze, arms around that knees. Giving yourself a hug. Exhale, coming back, arms out into a T. Inhale here, and on our exhalation, lowering the legs to the right as we take our gaze to the left, finding a stretch all the way down our side body. And relaxing those knees and the feet on the floor, so we're not holding up the legs. We're just setting them down to the side as we look the other way, getting a bit of a twist, getting a nice long stretch, opening up the shoulder, opening up our chest. And then inhaling to center and switching sides, lowering the legs to the left as we turn our head to the right. And then releasing, inhaling to center, soles of the feet on the mat, grabbing on to our strap if you need it. We're going to bring that left leg into our chest, wrapping the strap around the ball or the arch of our foot, inhaling the leg up all the way, releasing that right leg out long, and then walking our hands up the strap, curling our head up towards our knee. If you can reach your toe, or you don't have a strap, you're welcome to just walk your hands up your leg. And then releasing that leg, switching sides, grabbing onto the foot, putting a strap on the leg, inhaling up, drawing our head towards our knees. Exhale, releasing down, soles of the feet on the mat, putting the strap off to the side, making our way into a bridge pose. So for our first bridge pose, we're just going to do a traditional bridge. So soles of the feet on the mat. You should be able to reach your heels with your fingers. And then when you're ready, inhale, pressing into the heels, lifting the hips up to the ceiling, getting our shoulder blades onto our back, interlacing the fingers, pressing your fist and your arms into the mat, gaze towards the ceiling, not looking at the TV, not looking to your right or left, protecting your neck. Pressing with your heels, so we're getting a stretch up here, relaxing the glute, even though a lot of times in classes we're told to clench. Right now we're not clenching, just let it relax. We're opening up this area. And then releasing the arms, lowering our hips down, drawing the knees in, gently rocking. And then again, soles of the feet on the mat. If you have a block, keeping it nearby, I'm going to give you an optional supported bridge. So coming into our bridge foundation, and then inhale, pressing into the heels, lifting our hips up. Either A, doing what we just did, interlacing the hands, or we're going to take our block, placing the block underneath our sacrum, and setting our hips down on it. Bringing our arms out to the side, or if you have the space, inhale your arms above you. And also remember to pick what level works for you. If this is too high, do a lower version. This feels nice on my back, so I like to do the nice tall. And then when you are ready, pressing into your heels, lifting your hips up, removing the block, setting it off to the side, lowering the hips down, drawing those knees into our chest. And then exhale, bringing the feet down, soles of the feet together, Coming into Baddha Konasana, bound cobbler pose, Supta Baddha Konasana because we're lying down, finding that length in our spine. Bringing one hand to our belly and the other hand to our heart. Allowing our knees just to lay out to the side. And then when you're ready, extending one leg and then the other, making our way into Shavasana. Bringing our hands out to the side, getting our shoulder blades onto our back, letting the feet just fall open naturally. Feeling the back of our body sink into the mat. Feeling our shoulder blades pushing into the mat in the back of our head and our heels. And any tension that we've left in our jaw, just opening our mouth, taking a deep breath in, and then sighing it out. And again, inhaling, exhale. Keeping our eyes soft in the spot between our eyes. Feeling the skin smooth. And then slowly letting go. Normally in class, we would stay here in Shavasana for at least 5 minutes. So feel free to do that. Stop this video, turn everything off, put on your favorite song, meditative or Rolling Stones or whatever makes you feel happy. And just lay there for a few minutes. And then before you are done, take a moment to revisit your affirmation or the intention that you set at the beginning of this video, reminding yourself just of why we are doing this, how you are feeling. And thank you for practicing with me today. Please stay safe. I'm going to stop because they're weed whacking outside. I will see you all soon. Namaste.